Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris here, and I just finished watching The Pale Blue Eye, the new Netflix film, which released today, January 6th. Written and directed by Scott Cooper, starring Christian Bale. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, just because I love sort of the period pieces of this type, right? So set in the year 1830, I believe, and starring, among other characters, Edgar Allan Poe. And so I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. I'm an English teacher, so I love teaching Poe poetry, short fiction, all that kind of stuff. So, not only am I a movie fan, I just love Poe's work. And so this had kind of all the elements that I wanted to see in kind of a dark, grisly crime drama. And that's really exactly what it is. However, I will say, it does a lot of things really well, but it's kind of a slow moving piece. So it's a little over 2 hours in length, which is not an overly long production in any way, shape, or form. But the movie felt a little bit longer than maybe it should have, and maybe that was kind of necessary to develop some of the plot points. I'm not going to get any spoilers here because it is kind of cool how all this unravels, and when you get into the final third of the film, some realizations come to light that people may not have predicted. I think it's actually super well written. I think the cinematography is really good in this. There are a couple of times, because it's so dark, literally and I guess metaphorically, that, again, from the literal perspective, it is a little bit hard to see what's going on, but I thoroughly did enjoy this film. It's not perfect, I don't think. Again, it can move a little bit slowly, but I think in a lot of ways that's sort of necessary to build the atmosphere that sort of defines and characterizes this movie. So, again, a little bit of a plotting plot point here and there, but the acting is fantastic all around, and it keeps you guessing, right? Like any good crime drama should do. You don't really know, at least I didn't anyway, who the murderer or murderers plural could end up being in the way that this all unfolds. And there's sort of this backstory with Christian Bale and his daughter who had gone missing and sort of his family. And so it's a very multi-layered thing. But for, a lot of people who enjoy these types of movies, I think there's a lot to sort of dig out of this that's really enjoyable. And I will say it's not overly gory, right? So I saw some people saying that it was, just super grisly, that sort of stuff. And it does have some grisly moments in it, certainly. It kind of reminded me of sort of a scaled back Sleepy Hollow in some ways, the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow movie with Johnny Depp. It had sort of that same vibe in a lot of ways. But of course, a little bit more, I guess, regal and not quite as comic as what Tim Burton probably would have done with the same sort of source material and screenplay. But if you enjoy period pieces, if you enjoy Edgar Allan Poe, if you like crime dramas, if you like sort of prestige era Christian Bale and what he's able to do with roles like that, I think you'll really enjoy this. So I think The Pale Blue Eye is certainly worth checking out for anybody who is interested in any of those things at all. If you've got Netflix, it's kind of a no-brainer sort of thing to dive into it and see what you think about it. Anyway, those are my thoughts. If you checked out The Pale Blue Eye, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.